Today on A Commonly Good MTG, we're playing GRUUL FLING off the Platinum Mythic list over at Magic GG. What does that mean? It means we got green and we got red guys. And even more so, at the end, we got Voldaren Thrillseeker. We give that fling power to any one of your own creatures. So you pump them up with a bunch of popo counters, get them up to, halfway where you can do maybe 6 points of damage, and throw it at somebody when it's all over. Finishing off the other half of what you got there. If that sounds good to you, stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, and despite rumors to the contrary, I had absolutely nothing to do with the collapse of the Chuck E. Cheese pizza empire. Dr. Yukon Sucket! Yes, thank you!
Film before a live studio audience.
Thank you so much, Yukon Sucket! Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over at Magic GG off the Platinum Mythic list. They don't have names for it, but I recognized it. It was a GRUUL FLING deck. GRUUL FLING. Yeah, it's fairly simple. You just get out a bunch of dudes. You come raging in. It works really well with like a nice Moneyball deck where you got a bunch of dudes that cost 3 or less or do 3 points of damage. And then you just kind of you grind them down. You get them down to maybe 10, 12 life. Then you got like Voldaren Thrillseeker that chumps out, pumps the dude up a little bit, and then you get that damage in, and then you do double the amount of damage because of the throwing situation. You got a couple of them. You could do it to a couple guys potentially. Still, it costs 4 mana each time to be able to pull that kind of thing off. You'll have to see what happens. Anyways, I love Voldaren Thrillseeker. The attitude of the art is fantastic. And it's a vampire, which means now that Innistrun's gone, it's one of the few vampires we still got around. All right, so what we're going to do is we take a look at the cards that are in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how the deck should work, and then we'll go out and we'll crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got here? We got a cheap 1/1 that potentially could pull a land. Great. This guy comes out and says whenever he becomes a target of spell or ability an opponent controls, you put a popo counter on a target creature you control other than the creature who was targeted. All right. And he can put out a Bebe if you put him out for 3 mana rather than 2 or 1. This one lets you go mill a couple cards and pull something back to your hand, gain 2 life. This guy, discard a card, put a popo counter on target attacking creature, and it gets trample. What do we got here? This thing kills artifacts and enchantments or helps proliferate. Hunter's Talent does damage to target creature equal to another creature you do control. And then you can pump it up a little bit to give a single attacking creature +1/+0 and trample to the turn. This guy puts a popo counter on a target creature whenever at the beginning of your combat. If you paid early up to the full end, then if you would put 1 or more counters or permanents on something, you put twice that many on it instead. So you can see we got a lot of counters being passed around, and we got multipliers on, which is fantastic. This guy will put a popo counter on a creature if you can exile 1 from a graveyard somewhere. This one, if you put a popo counter on something, you put that many popo counters +1, and it's a mana guy. So potentially if you put more popo counters on this guy, you'll get a lot of mana out of him. We don't have much use for it, so he's just here to help modify everybody else. This guy will put popo counters on stuff at the beginning of the turn, and if you saddle up, you get a double number of popo counters on something. So we have the ability to double popo counters like nuts. This guy costs 4 to do 5 points of damage to a creature, but you can do it for a lot less provided there are attacking creatures. And maybe it's even their attacking creatures. It's really cheap to do 5 points of damage. Let's put it that way. Voldaren Thrillseeker, it's got backup. So whatever its abilities are, you can pass to somebody else. And you put 2 popo counters on it. So that's what's great. You got a guy that has like 5, suddenly becomes a 7. He attacks for 7, and then you blow it up to do 7 more, 14 points. Then you can blow this guy up to do another 1 point of damage. So that's 15. Anyways, there's some tricksy tricks in here. And we've seen it before with the Thrillseeker. Now it's time to see it again. We've got Mirrex putting out pod babies. We got what is this one? Fountainport, which puts out fish and some other stuff, and a bunch of dual lands. All right, so that's what we're going to do. What are we going to do with this deck? We're just going to get some dudes out. They're pretty low end guys, but we're going to start throwing Popo counters on them crazy. We can just grind the opponent down, and we get them close enough, we'll use Voldaren Thrillseeker to finish them off. All right, so that's it. Before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sheoldred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear the lamentations of the women. All right, playing against Rob. 2 mana. 3 for all of this crap. Let's see what we can do. That is not fast. If you do, they discard it. Otherwise, they may place a face-up exile card they own into their graveyard. Can pick up a land out of the deal here. If I want to put something on next turn, we'll use that. Double Dragon! Alright, pump the other guy. All right, let's go Seed of Hope. All right, we'll pull another Double Dragon. That'll be fun. Hopefully I can get it out by the time that before he kills that guy. Oh, let's go in there then. All right, good for us. Smoking it. Let's saddle up the guy with 2. Let's keep that doubling going. Really nice to go get a... Oh, what's her name? Flinger. Flinger chick is what we need. Can I get enough just to jump over that guy? That's the question. I can double 4, which makes it 8 plus on there. Even more. He's got 5, which would be a serious problem. Let's just chill for a second. All right, so that's going to get us up to 12. I'll tell you what, no math. What? How did we get to that section already? No tax. Next turn. Hopefully he can't kill that super ornery Tumblewagg. Sweet googly moogly, people! Thank you. There we go, we can just win now. And we win! In your face! Jambalaya Jones! Victory! Alright, we're playing against Sir Tut. Sir Tut. Alright, so technically these guys are all 3s. I hate wasting this guy to be a 1. Alright, good. We'll get out this little Scout Saurus Rex. Nice. Alright, double dragon. And no attacks. You're a little confused. You're not sure what to do. Pirates. All right, all in. Go get them. All right, we're smoking it pretty well. Not quite time for the Voldaren Thrillseeker yet. Question is, next turn, if I get out the Thrillseeker, put 2 onto it, onto that rabbit, and then double it up with the Thornwag, are we going to do very well? He's got 9 showing right there. There you go. All right, so we've got 5. I need everything I need for here. Let's just do it. Let's just go for the full meal deal. Oh, it has to be 2 or more. All right, 1 and 2. How about that? Don't be bouncing. Yeah, you got to do it now if you're going to do it. I'll still activate it. I'll go straight to your throat. All right, you want to block? You want to kill something good? Do you not recognize the Voldaren Thrillseeker as a fling? Is she actually old by this point? I mean, she's like a vampire and everything, right? And that's the bomb. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Goes the room. Good game. Victory. All right, playing against BeefMcSteak. Okay, Innkeeper's Talent's a good card. Really good card. Can't put it out next turn unless I... no, I'm not dragging. I'm not getting a land next turn, so it's not going to happen. Let's see, we need some red. Seed of Hope. Oh, what are we doing? You, my friend, are the bomb, so we have to hopefully pull you in. No! Don't take the Innkeeper's Talent, you dummy. I mean, Tumblewagg is going to be okay, too. Either of those, I guess, is fine. We're on our way. Let's grab green. Get out the talent. I mean, would I have to use the Thrillseeker to blow away that bat to get my Tumblewagg back? Possibly. I don't really have any direct damage otherwise. Do I? I thought I had something. Oh, Hunter's Talent. That'll be the deal. Oh, we gotta shut up whatever he's playing with. It's really annoying. Give him some protection. There we go. All right, Call Me Whispered Hopes. If I get him out, it might be nice to put ward on him. All right, so I got 4, which means it might be good to get the talent turned up to 11. We don't have anything with trample at the moment. What do I have to do there? Pay 3 life. That's not bad. Let's go for the other red. Let's turn this thing up. All right, he's down to 10. I can kill him right now. Okay, you can go ahead and kill her if you want. Feel free. She's done what she needs to do. And boom, boom. Goes the room. Suck it, BeefMcSteak. Suck it. All right, playing 4. Let's see, you're playing Pat Hub. Pat Hub, 27. These are horrible lands. One scout. 2 scouts. Does he have anything good in the graveyard? Do I have anything good in the graveyard? Nope, nothing at all. Let's see what we can convince him to do here. Nothing in graveyard, so we'll leave it. I guess I could chew up his land just to keep getting it back, right? All right, we are going to pull another green. Let's go ahead and calm me up. You willing to die for him? Yes, you are. Chump away, my chump. I'm not really going... Let's just do it. This guy's a giant dummy. I personally hate him. You gonna go after my cauldron? You gonna send a manland after me? You gonna kill my one and only guy? All right, Cenote. All right, we're loading up. Got more guys in there? Let's do it. Oh, Jesus. All right, let's go get a fish land. All right, suddenly we've reached the point where things are getting dicey. I got the Thrillseeker, which is going to help. I don't have tramples, not going to help. I don't have anything like that. Menace. That's cool. Do I have another guy to sacrifice here? I don't. Oh, dang it. I needed to saddle that guy up ahead of time is what I needed to do. Yep. Okay, let the damage go through and blow our little mines there. Oh, sweet God, I can't believe I made it out of that. Who in your face, Davy Jones? Victory! I'm playing against Torzhov. Orzhov. Not as many guys as I would like. But it's a good curve board. Alright, here's my next card. Alright, 2 gets us into a Cankerbloom. Alright, so 3. And we can just go in for the attack. Witchstalker Frenzy this guy. And 3 to the face. Perfect. I'm anxious to blow that guy away. Let me finish that last word there. Destroy target artifact. Add some artifacts. Alright, 1, 2. There's 2 more. And a 3rd. And I did it stupid again. I needed to saddle him is what I needed to do. And I forgot. All in. Alright, there we go. There's our money shot. And we win! Victory! Alright, so we are with GRUUL FLING. And, I picked it up off the Platinum Mythic list. It was a good deck. It was very fun to play. I wasn't overly impressed by it. But it's kind of weird when you pick things up off the Platinum Mythic list. They're not as good as you would think they would be. Still, decent deck. I mean, it's much better than a Precon. And if you got nothing better to do, I'd highly recommend picking it up and playing with it. If you take a look what's in here, there are a bunch of rares in here? No. There's a bunch of good cards. This one looks like you can put it together fairly cheap. All right, let's give it up. Let's just say, who is the MVP? Who is the most valuable player? I'm going to give it to probably the Voldaren Thrillseeker, just because she's the bomb that blows everything up at the end. But really, maybe it's the Tumblewagg, because this guy is the guy that just kind of grind things out. I can say you're a one-time strike, but you're the one that could put double the number of Popo counters on a target creature. Double the number of Popo counters on a target. It's going to be the Tumblewagg. Tumblewagg is the MVP in this particular deck, yeah. I gotta say, the big problem with this deck in me is that it requires a little bit more thinking than my aggro mind wants to put into this stuff. And I know I made a lot of mistakes. My big one is attacking before I saddle. I just always forget to saddle. I specifically put people out so that I can saddle and then forget to do it. And I know, and I'm sorry that you're watching me making those mistakes all the time, but it's just something I have to learn about myself. Ornery Tumblewagg, you will be the MVP of this particular deck. Congratulations. All right, was this deck competitive? I ended up getting a 62% win rate. It's fairly, that's a decent win rate for a deck. The more you play it, the more you get closer to 50%. I played this thing 16 times. 62%, that's exactly what you look for. A fairly decent deck. Yeah, it's worth playing. So is it a competitive deck? Yes. Did I get out the Platinum Mythic list? Yes. When I played it on the rank, did I do very well? No, I did not do very well. I might have been in a weird slump. That just happens sometimes. But still, I came off it, just stayed on the casual playlist. I felt like I had better games there. They were just more entertaining. So that's what we ended up playing with there. I'm going to say this deck is pretty decent. Even though other people are ranking with it, I wouldn't say that I'd recommend it. All right, let's see. Was this deck fun? Absolutely. Why is it fun? Take a look there. 1, 2, 3. This is an aggro deck. There are tons of great things to do. It's nice. This guy was pretty decent. The only problem is that I hate putting him out for 1. I wanted to put him out for 3, so that makes him not be a 1, but be a 3. Clear up here. This guy is decent as a 1. This guy helps you go looking for stuff. It's not bad. So the single drops in really thin on this deck, but 2 is where you kind of get into it. There's 2 cards in this deck I was really disappointed in. Number 1, Inti, the Seneschal of the Sun. I just hate discarding my own cards, so I'm not a big fan of that. Number 2, it's Hunter's Talent. Sure, it's a hunt. It's a fight card or whatever that does that damage to the other player or the other creature. After that, it just gets +1 and trampled to the turn. I was disappointed with its enduringness to it. It's a good enchantment usually. This one is incredible as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. This one, not so much. So yeah, those are the 2 cards I was disappointed in, was Hunter's Talent and Inti the Seneschal. Other than that, it was a great deck. If you get the right curve to it, you can definitely get someplace. I felt like other people were a little faster at the same curve, and all your cards were slow. The biggest trick you have is Voldaren Thrillseeker. So if you can keep the Tumblewagg awake long enough to start pumping people up, to have a little Kami out there, maybe the Innkeeper's Talent to help pump all those things up as well, and then Voldaren Thrillseeker, you can take people out pretty quick. But a lot of cards have to come together to make that happen. All right, was this deck interesting? It's a GRUUL FLING deck. We've seen Voldaren Thrillseeker before. This one had stuff in it from Thunder Junction. It has some stuff from Bloomburrow in there. So it's an upgrade. It's a new version of the same deck in meta. I appreciated that, so I'm going to say yes, it was an interesting deck. I'm a big fan of GRUUL FLING, and I'm a big fan of Voldaren Thrillseeker. I think the art is fantastic, and I think that it works really great with decks where you can get guys up to 6, 7, 8 power. You could basically do it and then throw them out at the end of that turn. All right, so that's it. Let's add this up. Was this deck competitive? Grudgingly, I have to say yes. Let's see. Was this deck fun? Yeah, I liked it. I love these kind of decks. It's great. Was this deck interesting? Yes. I'm gonna pull this back to just being a straight A, not an A+. But it's a straight A deck. It is well worth playing. It looks like you can put it together pretty well with a very few actual rares and mythics. And beyond that, that means that most people can play it. So if you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, screw you guys, I'm going home. Bye.